Hey guys, Adrian here for DigitalDojos.com, and today we're going to be talking and recapping the Apple September 9th iPhone 6 and Apple Watch event, as well as giving my general thoughts regarding everything that was released at the end. So with that, I want to say thanks to everybody who tuned into the live stream coverage of the event. We ended up hitting 17,000 viewers and a whole bunch of new subscribers, so a huge thanks to everybody who checked out our live stream coverage of the event. I ended up streaming for like 6 hours. Anyhow, with that, let's just jump into the recap of the event and everything that went down and everything you need to know about the new products. First and foremost, the iPhone 6. They jumped right into it. There was no sales figures talk. They literally just jumped in because there was so much to cover. The iPhone 6 is what the latest generation of iPhone is being called. It is going to come in two models, an iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus. The difference between the two being the 6 is a 4.7-inch screen and the 6 Plus is a 5.5-inch screen. They're both bigger screen sizes, so significantly bigger screen sizes. And an all-new design across the board for the iPhone 6. A much more rounded design. The home button has been relocated to accommodate for one-hand usage to make it much more easier. You'll also notice a couple other things have been shifted on the device. And again, it just has that much more rounded look, very similar to that of the iPod Touch. In terms of dimensions and all that, the iPhone 6 is actually thinner, even at its biggest point on the 5.5-inch. It is thinner than that of the iPhone 5S, was the current generation of iPhone. Additional hardware that's kind of been announced on the iPhone, you have the new A8 processor in addition with the coprocessor and all of that, so you get 25% faster CPU performance and 50% faster GPU performance. So it's faster. I mean, it's an upgrade. It's definitely a faster phone. Other new hardware that was significantly added, you have a couple new sensors. You have a barometer sensor to test your elevation and stuff like that and track all of that. So it's working in conjunction with the health kit that's been built in with iOS 8. And last but not least, the NFC chip, our near-field communication chip, was built into the phone as well in conjunction with something that was called Apple Pay. Apple Pay is a mobile payment system that's integrated with the iPhone 6 specifically because it has the NFC chip that's going to make payment processing a whole bunch more easier and convenient and secure. This is Apple moving into quote unquote the mobile payment space, and this is something that was very underrated at the keynote, but this is something that is going to be a big culture shift for Apple. It's allowing them to move into a space that basically they want to get rid of the wallet. They want to get rid of the idea of storing your credit cards in a wallet and physically having them, and that's a much more of a security risk, whereas you can put them in your phone, you can hit your thumb, you can use your Touch ID and scan your thumb and payment is complete. It's that simple, that easy. As far as security goes, none of your card information, none of your personal details is actually saved on the application or on the phone. It's all stored in the cloud. And it requires a thumbprint to even verify for payment. So it is a really great and convenient thing. Ideally, it's going to need a big adoption rate for it to be useful, but it is a big step for Apple. So that's really the main aspects of the hardware. I think the last thing I want to touch on is the camera. The camera is also something that always a lot of people, we use our iPhones as our everyday drivers, or most iPhone users use it as their everyday camera, I should say. And it has that much more improvement. It has new lenses. It's still 8-megapixel iSight camera, but it now integrates a couple new autofocus filters, also OIS, or optical image stabilization. It essentially allows the lens to move up, down, left, or right to accommodate for a much more better and clearer shot when focusing and stabilizing your overall footage or video, or whatever it may be. Speaking of video, it can shoot 1080p at 60 FPS, so it's double the frame rate it can shoot 1080p in. It's a double the frame rate it could shoot slow motion in. So you can now get slow motion video with the standard 120 FPS that was integrated into the 5S. You can now do 240 FPS on the iPhone 6. So overall, you're getting a bunch of new hardware. You're getting bigger displays and better displays with Retina HD. Retina HD allows for much more crisp and higher quality and resolution of displays. So whether you're getting the iPhone 6 or the iPhone 6 Plus, you're getting a higher resolution overall. So that kind of wraps up the iPhone announcement. From there, they kind of briefly touch on iOS 8, and that's how that's upcoming. That's been announced for a while. iOS 8's official release date will be coming in September 17th, and if I'm not mistaken, it supports all the way back to the iPhone 4S and then everything onwards from there. And then from there, we got into the whole one more thing, the highly anticipated Apple Watch. Not an iWatch, they're calling it an Apple Watch. The Apple Watch is Apple's smartwatch. It's a timepiece that enables you to do many digital functions. You can think of it as a companion for your iPhone because it does require an iPhone in order to work. It's not a standalone watch. It can only work with your iPhone because it syncs your Wi-Fi, your GPS, all of that data from your phone over to your watch to receive things like push notifications, iMessages, etc., for you to simply touch and dismiss or respond to at a glance from your watch. The watch has Siri built in. The watch has a touchscreen built in with a sapphire glass to enable certain protection, and it has a traditional watch crown built in. The watch crown enables you to also interact with the UI in an intuitive way that allows you not to block the screen from your viewing angles and things of that nature. The overall design of the watch, I'm going to have pictures here, is not a rounded design, but a more square design in a very, very robust materials. It's offered in many, many materials, from stainless steel, aluminum, all the way up to 18 karat gold and rose gold. The watch itself will come out in two sizes. They have a 38 millimeter in height and a 42 millimeter, so whether you have a smaller wrist or a bigger wrist, you can accommodate for that. Now here's where it gets a little bit confusing. Aside from the different sizes it has, the watch comes in 3 editions. You have the Apple Watch, which is just a standard basic watch, which starts at $350. You then have the Apple Watch Sports Edition, which is an aluminum versus stainless steel model and also has reinforced glass. So the Sports Edition obviously being more geared towards you if you're using it in the fitness environment. You can also interchange all the watch straps. The watch straps aren't standard. You can swap them out very, very easily for leather, metal, etc. And last but not least, you have the Apple Watch, what they're calling the Apple Watch Edition. Essentially, it's the high-end Apple Watch. It's the luxury end of the watch market. It comes in 18 karat gold, yellow gold, or rose gold, so you can get a really, really highly, highly fancy-looking and very durable Apple Watch. Now, of course, this features the little touchscreen as I was talking about, and it features a mobile iOS that is going to have its own app store. So they're going to have a Apple Watch app store so that you can have companion apps on your watch, things like Twitter, Pinterest, etc., so that you can do things like viewing photos, you can dismiss texts and all that. And a lot of people are asking what the Apple Watch does. Again, it really is a companion for your iPhone. It is a thing that allows you to do certain tasks without having to pull your phone out or dig through certain menus. You can easily track your steps. It has a heart rate monitor built in. You can send quick replies when you're driving or anything like that, so you don't have to physically pull out the phone and distract yourself. You can do a whole bunch of stuff. It has Siri built in and has a lot of voice controls built in. It's just a kind of extension of your iPhone that's available on your wrist. It is a lot focused. It's focused a lot on not just the software UI, which I think they did a really good job on, but aesthetics. It has a really customizable and personal aesthetic appeal to it, where you can pick from many materials and many straps to really get the Apple Watch that you want. No one Apple Watch is the same, essentially. Alright, so in total there was a lot of things announced, but it really centered on that iPhone 6, the 6 Plus, and the Apple Watch. Aside from that, we heard some great things like the Apple payment system, which is going to be integrated, but my overall thoughts regarding everything, I think the iPhone 6 is a really great leap from the iPhone 5S. It shows Apple really trying out new things and moving into that bigger screen size market and screen real estate market, while maintaining that simplicity, that great design, that thinner phone. It is really one of the biggest updates we've seen in the iPhone, rather than these incremental upgrades that we've seen from the 5 to 5S, 5C. We're seeing a new generation of iPhone releasing in 2 versions, adding more options, and it's Apple kind of taking brick by brick down from that walled garden that they're so famously known for, and integrating a couple new features. We have the new support for the high resolution display, and in conjunction with iOS 8, it offers a lot of different options. Now, as for the Apple Watch, as a watch enthusiast, I really, really enjoyed the design and the appeal of it. I really like the UI. I think that it's one of the nicest smartwatches currently available next to the Moto 360, but I don't like the price point. $350 is a little bit too pricey for the baseline model for most people who are going to want to get into this. I think in order for Apple to have a successful smartwatch market, they're going to have to really push it as a symbol of in general. I mean, if you think of symbols out there that are recognized by brands, they're the white earbuds, the Beats by Dre. Those are symbols out there that are very famously known because they're recognized. And I think the Apple Watch is something that's going to have to go out there. And it's Apple stepping into a new market. While they may not, be the best out there, it shows Apple willing to work in and willing to come into a new market and offer something different, offer something new. I like where they're going with the smartwatch. I will be getting one for review. I'll be purchasing one for review. But again, I think as of right now, $350 is a little bit pricier on the price point for version 1. But I like the options. I like what they offer. I like the customability, and I like what they did with the UI. It is a very intuitive and fluid UI to navigate and work in conjunction with your phone. I just don't think it's for everybody right now. It's a very niche market, and I think as the competition ramps up, as Android Wear builds up and new devices come out, we'll see a more refined version down the road. Anyways, as of right now, guys, I think that I've gotten a lot of questions regarding upgrades and stuff like that. Or should I come from Android? Should I switch? At the end of the day, that's up to you. That all comes down to personal preference. If you want a phone that's more customizable, more free, and all of that, Android is probably the way to go. If you want something that is simple, but it has the premium app market out there, and you want a bigger screen, and you enjoyed your iPhone, but you want a bigger screen, then the iPhone 6 is probably for you. It all depends. There's a lot of varying factors. At the end of the day, I think Apple did a really, really amazing job. I think that this is the first time we've seen Apple really do something that I'm excited for personally with the iPhone 6 and the Apple smartwatch, showing them taking new directions and really willing to risk entering new markets and risk trying to innovate in places that aren't so widely spread right now. I'm mostly excited about Apple Pay and the smartwatch and what they do with that. I think these are really great new avenues for Apple to enter and possibly dominate how they did with the tablet and the smartphone early on. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this overall recap and thoughts of the event. Love to hear your own thoughts and comments down below, and I will have more videos coming out regarding the iPhone 6 smartwatch as time goes on, so more content to come. Catch you all in the next one.